Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
We begin tonight with calls for the SUNY Chancellor to resign or be removed. This after the release of text messages that shows the Chancellor mocked one of the women who accused former Governor Andrew Cuomo of sexual harassment. Big Fox's Matt Kleindienst has those messages and tells us the SUNY Board of Trustees is standing by the Chancellor.
Good evening, and Jim Molotros is under fire from students and faculty across the state, saying his conduct damages the reputation of the state collegiate system. The system's board, however, is standing by its chancellor. SUNY Chancellor Jim Molotros is facing calls for his resignation tonight. This comes after Attorney General Letitia James released more documents relating to the investigation into former Governor Andrew Cuomo. The latest documents reveal text messages from Molotros that mock former Cuomo aide and accuser Lindsey Bolin. Let's release some of her cray emails, reads one text from Molotros to a group of Cuomo aides. He later sent this vulgar text to the group chat after Bolin criticized him on Twitter. In response, the Student Assembly and Faculty Council of SUNY schools called on Molotros to resign. A statement released by the group says that allowing him to stay would damage the reputation of the SUNY system. Despite this, the SUNY Board of Trustees is standing by Molotros and praised his leadership by saying, "We have challenging days ahead and believe Jim Molotros remains the right leader to help us meet that challenge." Molotros has since apologized for his comments to Bolin. Matt Kleindienst, Big Fox, WYDC in Corning.
Modified international air travel rules go into effect today as more cases of the Omicron variant of COVID-19 pop up in more and more states. Brian Yennis has more.
New air travel restrictions are in effect for international passengers entering the United States. All inbound passengers are now required to present a negative COVID test 24 hours before they board their flight, regardless of nationality or vaccination status. This comes as the Omicron variant of COVID-19 has appeared in nearly a third of U.S. states. The new air travel restrictions are already causing a headache for passengers at airports across the country.
I think it's too tight. I think 24 hours is hard when people are traveling and they need to get in. I think 48 hours would have been great. I think 24 is cutting it a little close for a lot of people.
I'm not really for the test. I really think that we're getting too restricted. I think the restrictions need to be lifted.
Other passengers disagree, saying the new restrictions make them feel safer and at ease.
We went on a cruise a few weeks ago and had to get tested before we got on the cruise, and it felt safer.
I think testing really isn't that big of a deal if it promises peace of mind.
As of today, we're going to announce a first-in-the-nation measure.
Meanwhile, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio has issued a vaccine mandate for private sector employers across the board. The mayor describing the move as a, quote, preemptive strike as he pleads with unvaccinated people to roll up their sleeves.
All private sector employers in New York City will be covered by this vaccine mandate. We're going to have some other measures as well.
De Blasio says everyone working in the Big Apple will have to get vaccinated by December 27th, days before he is set to leave office. In New York, Brian Yennis, Fox News.
Tonight marks the first night of gift packing at the Arctic League. Packing groups will gather at the Arctic League headquarters to wrap toys for families in need throughout Chemung County. Event organizers are expecting to give gifts to more than 3,500 kids. However, they encourage more families in need to apply.
It's not based on the monetary income of the family. If the family has a need, yes, put your name in, put an application in, and we want to make sure that no child in Chemung County goes without Christmas.
Packing will go on for 13 days at the Arctic League headquarters. The toys will be distributed to families on Christmas Eve. Corning Deputy Mayor Chris Karam is stepping down from his position effective this evening. Karam cited persistent problems with tinnitus as the reason behind his retirement. He also retired from coaching baseball at Corning Community College earlier this year due to health concerns. Karam represented Corning's 3rd Ward and was on the City Council for 8 years. Tonight, Corning residents are mourning the loss of a beloved community leader, Don Creeth. Don was a longtime member of the Rotary Club of Corning and was an active participant in the community for more than 50 years. Don also spent 20 years with the Corning Community College Board of Trustees and represented Corning as a Steuben County legislator for 16 years. Calling hours will be held on Wednesday at Phillips Funeral Home, and Don will be laid to rest on Thursday. Don was 90 years old. Former presidential candidate, senator, and war hero Bob Dole has passed away. Today, he is being remembered for his life and legacy. Lauren Blanchard has more.
Flags in D.C. flying at half-staff in honor of longtime Senator Bob Dole. He died on Sunday at the age of 98 after a battle with stage 4 lung cancer. He is survived by his wife and daughter. His family writing, "Bob Dole was never only ours. We shared him with Americans from every walk of life and every political persuasion."
He is a role model for all of us, Republicans and Democrats who serve the United States Senate.
President Biden released a statement on Dole's legacy, reading in part, "Bob was an American statesman like few in our history, a war hero and among the greatest of the greatest generation." Dole ran for the Republican presidential nomination 3 times, securing it once, but lost to former President Clinton, who said this on Sunday, quote, "Bob was passionate and spirited, sharp and funny. He could fan the partisan fires and put them out when an honorable compromise was in reach." The Kansas senator was known to cross the aisle, serving nearly 36 years in Congress.
I always thought that differences were a healthy thing, and that's why we're also healthy, because we have a lot of differences in this chamber.
Badly injured in World War II, Dole fought in Congress for more accessibility for the disabled, helping to pass the Americans with Disabilities Act in 1990. After leaving office, he played a big part in helping to build the World War II Memorial on the National Mall.
President Biden has ordered flags lowered until Thursday. On Capitol Hill, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Jennifer and James Crumbly, the couple wanted by Michigan authorities, are now in a Michigan jail. Early Saturday morning, police tracked the couple down to this warehouse. Police say a tipster identified the couple's car, and police say video footage showed someone entering the building. James and Jennifer Crumbly were wanted by police so they could arraign the couple for charges of involuntary manslaughter connected to the fatal high school shooting in Oxford, Michigan. Their 15-year-old son is accused of killing 4 and injuring others in that school shooting. The couple pleaded not guilty to charges of involuntary manslaughter at their arraignment on Saturday. Still ahead tonight, we all have bad habits, and some of those less desirable tendencies may come out more during the holidays or times of stress, like during a pandemic.
It starts with a trigger. Maybe you're bored, maybe you're stressed. Then comes the behavior. And finally, the reward, that feeling of satisfaction.
What experts say is the key to breaking the bad habit cycle. Coming up.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Tonight's Big Fox forecast is brought to you by William Mattar. Good evening, everyone. Temperatures today a lot warmer than they were yesterday, as highs were mainly in the 50s all across the board. And so in Elmira and Corning, it was about 8 degrees warmer. Watkins Glen around 10 in Bath, and about 12 degrees warmer this afternoon in Wayland. And so all the precipitation fell as rain, but as we move into tonight and those temperatures plunge, any leftover moisture will turn into either a wintry mix or snow. So it may be a little bit slick early tomorrow morning. It's not going to be quite as breezy tomorrow, but it sure is going to be a lot colder. Snow chances will return on a Wednesday, but by the end of the week, it is going to get a little bit warmer out ahead of another storm system. So high pressure will continue to build in from the west. There is the possibility of snow showers to our north, but in our area, I think most of that will be ending. Temperatures, though, will stay quite cold. 29 degrees at 6 o'clock in the morning. We only climb up to barely above freezing by lunchtime. Our high will be in the mid-30s, so it is going to be quite a frigid day. And then we drop down into the 20s in the evening hours. We have another shot of snow as we head into the middle of the week on Wednesday. Another system comes in. It will spread some snow across our area as the cold core moves right over our area. So again, there could be some slippery roads out there on Wednesday, so take it easy, and you may want to leave some time at the beginning, maybe leave about 15 minutes early so you wouldn't be in a rush. And so, yeah, just be careful out there with the roads as we head into the latter part of your Wednesday. Our future radar is showing maybe just a few flurries for tonight, but I think most of the snow will start to diminish. And then we have another disturbance coming in on Wednesday, and that will cause some snow to develop in some of our areas. In fact, I think the snow will be widespread by 8 o'clock in the morning, but it looks like it really starts to taper off in the latter part of the afternoon before finally moving away on Thursday. So here's a look at your forecast for tonight. Temperatures diving down to around 27 degrees in Bath, 31 degrees in Watkins Glen, right around 29 in Elmira, Corning about 30 degrees. Highs tomorrow, it is going to be below freezing in many locations, 29 in Wayland and in Bath, 35 though in Elmira, and 33 degrees in Corning, cold 31 degrees in Wellsboro. Your 7-day forecast calls for a warming trend, 34 degrees on Wednesday, still cold, 37 on Thursday, with the possibility of some peaks of sunshine. We have another system coming in over the weekend. Out ahead of it, we do warm up into the 50s, so I think the precipitation over the weekend will be in the form of rain.
We all have bad habits, and some of those undesirable tendencies may come out more during the holidays or times of stress like the pandemic. Experts say there's a key to break that bad habit cycle. Mandy Gaither has more in today's Health Minute.
From junk food to smoking, you may have some bad habits you're trying to break. The key to stopping that cycle is knowing how the habit forms, says Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
It starts with a trigger. Maybe you're bored, maybe you're stressed. Then comes the behavior. And finally, the reward, that feeling of satisfaction.
Experts say a bad habit must be broken at the reward phase.
When you get to that part of the cycle, focus on the way this habit makes you really feel. Take smoking, for instance. A study showed that when smokers focused on the way their cigarettes taste and the way it made them feel, those people had a higher success rate of curbing the habit.
According to the Cleveland Clinic, breaking a bad habit starts with preparing yourself to be uncomfortable, creating a game plan, and setting realistic goals. Establish incentives to keep you going in the right direction. Maintain your goals by having a strategy to help in times you feel challenged. Keep temptation away. Finally, recognize it's a journey.
So the next time you reach for your smartphone, that extra piece of pizza, that glass of wine, ask yourself, how does it really make you feel? And is it worth it?
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
A Dunkin' Donuts employee in Ohio received the surprise of a lifetime from one loyal customer, a fully furnished home. Kendra LaFleur has more on how that customer saw a need and stepped up to fulfill it.
Oh my God, oh my God.
Excitement.
Oh my God, we so happy.
And anticipation for Ebony Johnson and her children.
I can't wait to see it.
What awaits them? A home they can call their own that's fully furnished, something they haven't had in a while.
Thank you so much, Miss Susie, for helping me. I'm so happy.
The woman she's hugging made this all possible. Their friendship began 3 years ago at the drive-thru of Dunkin' Donuts. Johnson works there, and Suzanne Burke is a loyal customer.
I go every morning, and Ebony has worked the drive-thru for over 3 years, and really has just provided amazing customer service.
But when she noticed her favorite employee was gone for a few weeks, she began to worry, learning Ebony and her kids were evicted from their home after falling on hard times.
When she experienced this hardship, I just wanted to see if I could help her, just improve her life and the life for her kids and make sure that they had stable housing so that she could continue to provide the excellent service that she does at Dunkin'.
And this is the result of her help, finding organizations to help the family find a home and also partnering with a staging designer.
Perfect time of year to feel like, you're spreading joy.
And New Life Furniture Bank.
As much a gift to us as it is to them to be able to provide this for them.
And the kids are just as excited as their moms.
Yes. So nice. So nice. Hey, this is our beautiful living room.
Now with a fully furnished home, she says she and her kids can have a Merry Christmas and enjoy the rest of the holidays.
I'm just so thankful that we back in our own. The Lord really looked out for me because I kept praying and saying, could I be at home before Christmas?
He sees you when you're sleeping and knows when you're awake, but did you know he skis and goes scuba diving? Ashley Strohmeyer has more on how a group of Santas are spreading holiday cheer around the world. If catching a glimpse of Santa Claus is a dream come true for most kids, imagine the excitement of seeing hundreds of Santas all at once. The snow-covered hills at Sunday River Resort in Maine covered in red this weekend as more than 200 skiers and snowboarders donned Santa suits and beards for a run down the slopes.
You were like breezing down the mountain and you could feel the snow going across your face. And all the Santas looked like red jelly beans.
But this wasn't a random stunt. The festive fundraiser bringing in more than $5,000 for children's education and recreational activities, with each Santa donating at least $20 to participate. Meanwhile, some Santas overseas are going under the sea, trading in their reindeer for reefs and their sleds for scuba gear. Two divers in an aquarium in Hungary wore St. Nick's classic uniform over their wetsuits to decorate a Christmas tree underwater.
Every year we make a Santa Claus dive. It's not a normal diving job. It's also a treat for the animals, as the Christmas tree will become a whole new part of their home.
And Santa may not have been in sight at ZSL London Zoo, but it didn't stop staff from helping some adorable penguins send letters to the jolly man in red. If you've ever dreamt about becoming Santa Claus, this could be your lucky year. According to the talent agency Hire Santa, there's roughly 3,000 open Santa positions across the country. Apple notified 11 U.S. State Department employees in Uganda that their iPhones were hacked. Investigators have linked the hack to a mobile tool group developed by an Israeli-based technology company called NSO Group. The company has been blacklisted by the Biden administration. NSO says it terminated relevant customer access and will cooperate with investigating authorities. Kohl's could be sold or broken up into two companies, one with stores, the other online shopping. The Wall Street Journal says a major Kohl's investor, Engine Capital, is pushing the company to make changes to boost its stock price. Engine owns approximately 1% of Kohl's shares. Kohl's chief executive, Michelle Gass, has pushed back against the idea of separating the company, saying its stores and website work together. It was a huge surprise for student athletes from 3 schools in Chicago. They got to meet and play basketball with the 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama. Nate Rogers has the story.
Some Chicago students are going to bed pretty excited tonight. They thought that they were only attending a youth sports workshop here at the Southside YMCA. However, to their surprise, a lot more was in store.
How's everyone doing?
It kind of just like caught me off guard. I was speechless. Is that a clone? It didn't seem like he was actually here.
A huge surprise for student athletes from 3 Southside schools. The chance to meet and play ball with the 44th President of the United States.
The whole experience, seeing Barack, I was so shocked and so happy.
Obama returned home from meetings regarding his presidential library currently under construction in Jackson Park. But he had to stop by to encourage young people as well. The president said the Southside YMCA was a safe haven for his own daughters years ago.
We used to have birthday parties here. We used to occasionally shoot some hoops here. I used to bring the girls here when they were just itty-bitty things.
Obama spent about 30 minutes engaging with students and hearing about their passions. Of course, he couldn't leave without showing off his own hooping skills as well. But beyond the meet and greet, students tell me they received priceless advice they may have heard before. However, this time with much more weight.
Keep going, do what you love. Yeah. Be strong.
With Barack saying it like a former president, it's really sticking with me now.
Now, students went home with basketballs and a bunch of sports gear. President Obama says his foundation plans to collaborate with the YMCA to ensure Chicago students aren't left behind.
We want to leave you with a smile tonight. Take a look at this. A playful arrest of a person disguised as the Grinch just to entertain a crowd in Texas. Hewitt police officers making the mock arrest during the Christmas tree lighting event. Authorities say it all started when a municipal judge in the nearby city of Rosebud issued what they called a pretend warrant for the arrest of the Grinch. It's become somewhat of a tradition to arrest the Grinch for something every year. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.